The first time I saw Falcon, I was amazed by the way people naturally gravitated toward him. For the rest of my first semester at college, I secretly crushed on him, but I knew that I would not stand a chance. It was not because he was straight. He was gay, and in fact, one of the most popular kids in college. He was confident, stood for what he cared about, and was unapologetic. I was freshly out of the closet and out of my first relationship, which had left fresh wounds. Then I saw him, and I couldn't forget him. It was a pity that he did not know who I was, and he was in a relationship with another guy. We also ran in completely different circles, meaning that I was at the bottom of the food chain, and he was at the top. At art college, there was a traditional last week of college before people went home for a holiday. This is when students would have parties, wear funky clothes to class, and pull pranks on each other. By mid-afternoon, most people would be walking around with bottles of clear liquid, which the professors pretended not to notice. Since it was my first year, I was a bit shy about participating. It was during that week that my friends Stella and Andrew got some gin for us. From early in the morning, we were sipping our gin, and by the afternoon, we were giggling messes. We didn't have any classes on that day, but we decided to go to the cafeteria, mainly because we were broke. We sat at a table with some acquaintances that we didn't know, and I noticed that most of them were out of their minds already. I also noticed that across the room from me, there was Falcon. I stared at him for a moment too long before he turned away from the person he was talking to and stared at me. A peculiar expression flashed through his face, but I looked away. Someone came up with the idea to play Truth or Dare. That game, along with Spin the Bottle, was very popular around the campus. Because I was silly and drunk, deeming myself brave, I had agreed to partake. It was all fun and innocent until the dares got riskier and the questions more intrusive. Do I know, one of my acquaintances asked me, if you want to choose Truth or Dare? Everyone before me played it safe and chose Truth, but I was feeling like I was on top of the world, so I chose Dare. There were around 50 people in there, so it was easy for people to overhear conversations. I dare you to kiss the person you find most attractive in the room, she said. The table beside us broke out in whistles and giggles. I glared at Joanna, but I stood up. Normally, I would have blushed and run away, but I was feeling too brave. I got up and started making my way to Falcon's table, where they had stopped talking. I acted as if I was heading for Ryan, this other straight guy's direction. The look of panic on his face cracked everyone up. I rolled my eyes and turned towards Falcon. He was silent and looking at me with an unreadable expression on his face. We stared at each other for a moment, but I guess you have to dare to carry it out, he said. I was surprised that he would be this open, considering that he was in a relationship, but I kept that out of my mind, leaned closer to him, and kissed him. I pulled away quickly enough, but there were whistles and cheers everywhere. I loved how my college was so accepting of everyone, no matter their culture or gender. After the kiss, I just smiled at him and went to sit down. It was only later that what I had done sunk in. I hoped that his boyfriend, Marcus, would not be mad at me about it. The next day, most people, including me, were heading home. I stayed about an hour from campus, but had a room in a dorm because my parents wanted me to have the full college experience, and things were still awkward between us since I came out. They were not mad at me, just getting used to it. By the time the second semester came around, I had still not forgotten the kiss. He seemed to have forgotten, though, because he barely looked at me. At least I could say that I kissed my crush, but there was no potential for anything else to develop. About a week into the new semester, he spoke to me. "You good?" he asked. "Yes." "Oh yeah, I like your bracelet," he said. "Thank you, I made it with recycled material," I responded. He was about to leave when he stopped in his tracks. "Hey, I'm organizing this charity event, which is mainly aimed at making the campus more environmentally friendly. If you ever have free time, can you help me out? Or could you just help by giving these flyers to some friends?" "Yes, send the flyers to me." I took his phone number and said that I would help him out. The biggest reason why I wanted to help was that I wanted to be closer to him, and so we started texting. At first, it was mainly about the event. He was very friendly and open to suggestions, even calling me a very creative person. I was buzzing just because of that tiny bit of interaction. Over the next few weeks, we spent a lot of time together. In the beginning, all we talked about was the event, but as time went on, we became friends. He was very down to earth and paid attention to everything I had to say. It was during one day when we were finalizing the guest list that he brought up the kiss. I figured that he had forgotten my face, but I was wrong. "I was flattered that you thought I was attractive," he said. "Oh, the kiss. I was so drunk. I'm so sorry about that. I started to giggle every 2 seconds. I guess it was nice." "You don't have to be sorry. It was just a game," he chuckled, showing off his dimples. "Yeah. I hope I didn't get in trouble with your boyfriend." "Oh, we broke up," he said nonchalantly. "Because of me?" I freaked out then. "No, silly. We just wanted different things." We broke up a few days before you and I kissed, he clarified. I breathed a sigh of relief. The day of the charity event came, and guess who his date to the event was? Just as a friend, but I still felt very giddy. My friends teased me a lot about it, as they all knew about my crush. But I didn't mind it. I didn't get any indication from him that he was interested, but I did want to get to know him more. The event was very successful, and he thanked me a lot afterward. He was bouncing up and down like a little child, and even kissed me on both cheeks after the event. My heart fluttered a bit after that, but I knew it meant nothing. He was just very happy. You are a blessing in my life, he said. You don't have to thank me. This is all you, I said. I'll shut up and take the compliment. He rolled his eyes, but he stopped me by engulfing in each other's arms that night. It was a turning point in our relationship. I'd been having doubts as to why he loved me, but now I realized that I had to stop obsessing over unnecessary things. That dare had been a blessing in disguise, and if I were given the choice, I would have done it all again. The weeks that followed were blissful. We were inseparable, and it felt like the world revolved around us. We discovered each other's quirks, shared our dreams, and made plans for the future. But as with any relationship, there were challenges. Falcon's ex, Marcus, continued to be a thorn in our side. He tried to worm his way back into Falcon's life, but my boyfriend firmly told him to stay away. Eventually, he left us in peace and we could breathe easier. The honeymoon phase lasted for a long time, but it was not all perfect. You see, I was still a virgin and I had no idea how to tell Falcon. I was sure that he had tons more experience than me. Every time things between us got heated up, I would withdraw. I wanted to continue, but I did not know how. Falcon picked up on how I was acting strangely and confronted me one evening. Archie, are you attracted to me? He asked one night while lying on my chest. Of course, Falcon. I love you a lot, I laughed. And what is that supposed to mean? You pull away every time things get intense, he said. I was silent as I thought about how to tell him. Are you cheating on me? No, gosh, no, babe. I'm a virgin, I admitted. He pulled away from me and faced me. Oh no, I had no idea. It's okay if you're not ready, he reassured me. I am. I just don't want to disappoint you because I have no experience. I explained. Hey, I do not mind. I love you, he said. I felt so relieved after that conversation, and it brought us even closer together. That wasn't the night we were intimate for the first time. It was 2 weeks later after a romantic date night. We went to his room because his roommate was out. We made out passionately, and soon the desire took over. This time, I didn't stop it. I let go of all the control I had and gave in to him. His kisses ignited a fire within me, and I was willing to burn for him. Falcon was gentle and patient, making the experience beautiful and special. After reaching that intimate connection, we lay in each other's arms, feeling closer than ever. How do you feel? He asked me. Happy. How do you feel? I inquired. He tilted my chin up so I was looking into his eyes. In love with you, I never thought someone like you would fall. For someone like me? He confessed. Why not? You're so cool and I'm not. Stop talking nonsense or you'll regret it, he said in a dangerously low voice. I swallowed, feeling a deep connection growing between us. He leaned in closer, kissing my neck. Then, as I melted into a puddle, he attacked me and my laughter filled the room. We had a playful tickle fight, and it eventually turned into a pillow fight until we were both too exhausted to continue. Pure evil. I gasped breathlessly. How so, my dear? He asked. First you gave me lots of pleasure, and now you've made me breathless. I laughed. That's it, he said. That is what? I asked. The reason? It's because I can be myself with you, and you allow me, he said. We spent many nights like that, sharing our thoughts, dreams, and deepest fears. Our bond grew stronger with each passing day. I felt fortunate to have found someone so caring and understanding. As time went on, our relationship evolved beyond the physical and emotional connection. We supported each other's ambitions and dreams. Falcon's passion for environmental causes inspired me to become more involved in making the world a better place. One day he shared an idea with me. Archie, I want to organize a charity event aimed at making our campus more environmentally friendly. Do you think you could help me out? I was thrilled that he wanted me to be a part of something so important to him. Of course, Falcon. I'd love to help. Just tell me what you need, and I'm there. He smiled, and I could see the excitement in his eyes. You're a blessing in my life, Archie. You don't have to thank me. This is all you, I said. But he stopped me by engulfing me in a tight hug. Let me take you out for a snack, he offered. It's late, though. Are you sure there's a place that's still open? I know a place, he said, laughing as he tugged my hand. A few minutes later, we were at a taco stall just outside of campus. Many people were still awake and queuing up. I discovered it on one of my walks. A lot of people coming from night shifts eat here, he explained. We enjoyed our tacos and walked around, chatting for about an hour. Our conversation drifted to our childhoods and families. When did you come out? I asked him. My mom knew before I did when I was about 11, he said. I didn't like any girls in my class. My mom spoke to me about it and said that it was okay to love who I wanted. As time went by and I discovered my attraction to guys, she was always there for me. What about you? He asked. I came out on my senior year. I said my parents were not super happy about it, but they said that they love me. But I lost a lot of friends and got bullied after that. Oh, I also had bullies, he said. I used to be so shy and I had a stutter. It didn't help that from day one. I looked gay. Wow, you had a stutter. I would have never guessed. I still do when I'm nervous, I admitted. I completely understand. Wow, I did not expect to know this about you. What did you think, Archie? He asked. Yes, that you were flawless. I said, I am very flawed. And I still like you, I said. Our eyes locked. And he leaned in, kissing me softly on the lips. Our lips met. It was a tender and sweet kiss, filled with unspoken emotions. After we pulled away, we exchanged smiles and I felt an indescribable warmth in my heart. We linked hands as we walked back to campus, our fingers intertwined, our hearts dancing to the rhythm of newfound love. We flirted and stole kisses along the way, feeling like we were the only two people in the world. By the time I got to bed that night, I couldn't sleep. My mind raced with thoughts of Falcon and my heart fluttered with excitement. I couldn't wait for what the future held for us. The following morning, I woke up early and spent more time than usual grooming myself. I wanted to look my best for Falcon. Before heading down to breakfast, I sent him a good morning message. My heart raced with anticipation as I rounded the corner, hoping to catch a glimpse of him. But what I saw instead shattered my hopes. Someone was coming out of Falcon's room and it was his ex-boyfriend Marcus. Their disheveled appearance spoke volumes, Falcon followed, and our eyes locked for a brief moment. I quickened my pace. Unable to face the truth, I felt like a fool for believing that Falcon could be mine. The text messages from him asking for explanations only added to my confusion. What was there to explain when he was still entangled with his ex? The days that followed were tough. I avoided Falcon as much as possible, unwilling to confront the painful reality. It seemed like he wanted to talk to me, but I wanted nothing to do with him. Marcus, on the other hand, seemed to revel in the situation, flaunting his connection with Falcon at every opportunity. We're both so career-oriented. You know, the ultimate gay power couple Marcus would boast in class, leaving me feeling sick to my stomach. One evening, there was a knock on my door. It was Falcon. I tried to close the door, but he stopped me, his eyes pleading for a chance to explain. If you won? I asked him, my voice filled with hurt. Nothing is going on between me and my ex, he insisted. I sighed, defeated. I can't deal with this drama, Falcon. I don't want to be in the middle of it. He looked sincere as he spoke. I don't want him back. Archie, I swear, he cannot let go of me. He never treated me like a boyfriend. I was more of a trophy with you. I felt a glimmer of hope but wasn't ready to fully trust it. It doesn't feel like that, I replied cautiously. I have no idea how to tell Falcon, I admitted. Are you cheating on me? Falcon asked directly. No gosh no, babe. Often, and he pulled me into a reassuring hug. Oh no, I had no idea, he said. It's okay if you're not ready, he assured me. I am. I just don't want to disappoint you because I have no experience. I explained, hey, I do not mind. I love you, he said. His eyes filled with sincerity. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. We had an open and honest conversation about our desires and fears, and it brought us even closer. But it wasn't until 2 weeks later, after a romantic date night, that we finally took our relationship to the next level. We ended up in Falcon's room, where his roommate was conveniently absent. Our passion for each other had reached its peak, and this time, there was no hesitation. Our kisses were intense, igniting a fire that had been smoldering between us. Falcon, always patient and considerate, made the experience beautiful and special for me. It was a moment I would never forget. As we lay in each other's arms afterward, I felt a profound sense of closeness. Falcon asked me, how do you feel? Happy, I replied. How do you feel? In love with you. He said, his eyes locked onto mine. I never thought someone like you would fall for someone like me. Why not? You're so cool, and I'm not, I teased. He silenced me with a kiss. Stop talking nonsense or you'll regret it, he whispered in a seductive tone. I swallowed hard, feeling a deep connection forming between us. He leaned in again, and this time it was a passionate kiss that left me breathless. Our laughter filled the room as our playful tickle fight turned into a pillow fight. We were both too tired to move afterward. Pure evil, I gasped. That's it? Falcon chuckled. That is what? I asked. The reason I fell for you, it's because I can be myself with you, and you allow me, he said. Our relationship continued to flourish, transcending the boundaries of mere romance. We supported a better place. Together, we organized a charity event aimed at making our college campus more environmentally friendly. It was a resounding success thanks to the hard work and dedication we both put into it. Seeing Falcon smile as he looked at the positive impact we had made was the greatest reward of all. As the months passed, our love deepened, and we faced life's challenges together. Marcus Falcon's persistent ex-boyfriend continued to hover in the background, but Falcon stood firm in his commitment to our relationship. He made it clear to Marcus that he was no longer a part of his life, and eventually, Marcus accepted it and moved on. Our love was not without its ups and downs, but we navigated through them with open communication and unwavering support for each other. Falcon became my confidant, my best friend, and my lover, all wrapped into one. One day, Falcon surprised me with a handwritten letter. "Archie, there's something I want to ask you," he said, his eyes filled with anticipation. I opened the letter and read it aloud. "Archie, from the moment we met, my life has been filled with joy, love, and an overwhelming sense of completeness. You've shown me that true love knows no boundaries, and I am forever grateful for the happiness you've brought into my life. Today, I want to take the next step in our journey together. Will you move in with me?" Tears welled up in my eyes as I looked at Falcon, who was now on one knee, holding a small box that contained a beautiful ring. I was speechless, but my heart was bursting with love and happiness. "Yes, Falcon," I finally managed to say. "I would love to move in with you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you." He slipped the ring onto my finger, and we sealed our commitment with a passionate kiss. Our love story had come full circle, from a daring game of truth or dare to this beautiful moment of promise and commitment. And so, the enduring power of true love. We embarked on the exciting journey of living together, turning Falcon's apartment into our shared sanctuary. It was a new chapter in our love story, and every day felt like an adventure. Living together brought us even closer, and we learned more about each other with each passing day. We shared the mundane tasks of daily life, from grocery shopping to cooking together, and those simple moments became some of our most cherished memories. Our bond continued to deepen, and we talked about our dreams and aspirations for the future. Falcon's passion for environmental causes led us to volunteer together, organizing local cleanup campaigns and advocating for a greener community. It was heartwarming to see our shared values reflected in the positive change we were making in the world. As the years went by, our love only grew stronger. We supported each other's careers and personal growth, celebrating each other's successes and comforting each other during challenging times. Our love was a source of strength, and it gave us the courage to face whatever life threw our way. We often reminisced about the day we first met, that daring game of truth or dare that had brought us together. It was a reminder that sometimes taking a leap of faith, even in the face of uncertainty, could lead to the most beautiful and enduring love story. Our love was a testament to the fact that love knows no boundaries, no gender, and no limits. It was a love built on trust, honesty, and unwavering support. We were not just partners, we were soulmates. And our love story was a true gay romance filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. And as we looked toward the future, we knew that our love would continue to grow, evolve, and inspire. Our journey together was far from over, and we were excited to see where life would take us next, hand in hand, heart in heart, and love as our constant companion.